Hello everyone, welcome to our episode Showcase on Bloodborne. Now, by today's request to do today's weapon is probably the most plain weapon from the DLC. Let's see, a very Japanese name. The Rakuyo. I think I pronounced that right. Anyway, hunter weapon wielded by Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower. A trick sword originating in the same country as Kanehurst... I can't even say that one. Karikaj? or Chikaj? Oh well. Is the only sword that does not feed off blood, but instead demands great dexterity. Lady Maria was fond of this aspect of the Rakuyo, and as she was frowned upon by blood blades, despite being a distant relative of the queen. But one day she abandoned her beloved Rakuyo, casting it into a dark well when she couldn't stomach its presence no longer. Why? Good question. Lore in this game is probably even more ubiquitous and convoluted than Dark Souls. That's kind of hard to do. Of course, the process of getting this damn blade is a bit of a pain in the ass. Even on the first playthrough. Ugh. Stupid fish trolls. Anyway. So yes, this is a trick weapon, and does not feed off blood, despite being many related to weapons that do. Now, the reason why it's such a Japanese name is, you can see the blade is actually katana. So yes. So how this went down, I believe a katana and probably a cavalry saber fell madly in love. But in the course of their, intercourse, his little best friend came along, the dagger, and it came a really freaky three-way, and what came of this three-way was this blade. That's some creative imagery there. So yes, it's a katana with a cavalry, pretty much pommel and guard. And on the back end of it, a simple dagger. Nothing really striking about the dagger is like any other, it just doesn't have a guard, but some daggers don't, some daggers do. So yes, the Japanese name given for the very katana blade it has. Of course, could be called a cavalry weapon as well, but it's more katana than cavalry saber. And switching it is he just separates them. Not so much of a trick weapon, is it? It's a very simple trick. So yes, for lack of a more fancy way of putting this, you now have two weapons instead of just one. Yeah. So we can assume the DPS increases quite a bit by doing this. Range won't change, and I don't think damage will a whole lot, just the rate of you attack opponents will. So yes, so the act of having a sword in one hand and a dagger in another is more of akin to dueling back in the day in the Victorian era. Although there's more gang fighting than dueling in Bloodborne. Going on to the stats of the Rakuyo. Okay. So you only have base physical attack here, and it isn't actually that high either. You only get 82 and then plus 38 for the bonus. So that could be better, but again, it's a weapon more of DPS than raw damage. Going on to the special attack and special stats, nothing really new or notable here. So going on to a true bonus, we see you only get scaling for skill and arcane. So you get a C for skill, which is alright, and a D for arcane, like so many other weapons, but don't worry, this one's a bit different. Well, not different, but useful. Anyway, going on to attribute requirements, you need 10 strength and 20 dexterity, or skills. Man, Dark Souls kicking in there. But yes. So yes, it is a purely pretty much skill-based weapon. Or is it? I'll elaborate on that later, but for now, it's look at the damage itself. No surprise here, but all the damage physically is made up in thrusts. Now there's some you'll see that there's actually a slash damage in there somewhere, but it doesn't actually show me the numbers. And I'll try looking for those numbers, but no one knows. But yes, the main damage will be thrust, so it's going to be pretty good against armor. And the slashing will work good against everything else. Well, just about everything else. But anyway, let's move on to the animation. Okay, for the basic attack for the Rakuyo, you can see that the basic attack is more or less slashing and jabbing mixed together. Useful. The power attack is just strictly built as one swing upwards. A very awkward-like swing. Then the power attack is a heavy jab. Good step forward with that too. Good reach on that. The basic step back in normal attack you see is a basic slash. And there's the power version, which is a heavy jab going forward. And the rolling light attack is similar to the power attack from when you're standing. And then the rolling power version is a more heavier version of that. The plunge attack is just a light slash across. Nothing really that fancy. Okay, let's switch. You can see there, it does a cross slash. So, okay. With the light attack for the dual weapons, the separated Rakuyo dual, you see you got a lot of swing here, a lot of blade work. So yeah, a lot of more hits being registered. Power attack version, strictly just stabbing. Just stab, stab, stab. Nothing but thrust there. Alright, so the step back and light attack, you can see it's a quick slash with the dagger. The power attack version is a jab with the saber version. Katana saber. Light rolling attack, you can see it's a slash. Heavy rolling attack is a jab with the dagger yet again. And you can see the plunge attack right there. It's kind of a swing with both weapons. Now here's the L2. So that's a one simple press, and I'm going to try and do both. The timing's a bit funny on that one. There we go. So you do reversed. However, this one could change. If you do a light attack and then use that attack again, behold, it's now a double slash. And you use a power attack and then follow up, you jab with both weapons. So quite a few extra attacks there, which is neat. Alright, and time to switch back. And you can see there, one simple jab. So a lot of moves in this, a lot. Now for the upgrade of the Rakuyo. Alright, so you can see for base damage, it gets a little bit, but it's not a huge upgrade. But oh well. Remember, every upgrade, it's a decent boost to that DPS. That's the important thing. We see on the separate upgrade, the attribute bonus for skill goes right to a B on the second upgrade, which is good. More ball, attribute bonus, more damage. Alright. Moving forward, we don't see a whole lot to change. Again, minor upgrades boosting to the DPS. So that's alright. And we're just about reaching the end here. Oh, the next upgrade for the first blood chunk upgrade, you get an attribute bonus to skill goes to an A. So it goes from C to an A when you're done upgrading. Well, from what I show you. And that's pretty good, decent bonus damage. Good physical too. Now, however, this weapon, like the Hunter's Axe, you can change the nature to an arcane by adding arcane gem. It doesn't add arcane attack, it changes the nature to it. So this could be an arcane weapon, if you have a good arcane build. And you can see for damage, despite it being only a D, I get a lot of scaling out of this. My arcane skill are the same. They're both 45. But yet, I get a lot of damage out of that. So supposedly, maybe if the arcane scaling is better, you get a lot better weapon out of this. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go into performance. Now, so no surprise, you attack incredibly quick with this weapon. That's the idea. Now, some enemies could stagger, but I'm worried about the bigger enemies. The ones that are medium-sized to large. These small guys, they easily stagger. And you got good, decent variety of attacks. Let's just try some flailing. No, I should not have switched that target. That was a bad idea. Oh well. So you definitely got enough attack speed. But, is it enough? For me, I'm not a big person on DPS. I'd rather hit someone hard and back away very quickly. But for some people, it's important. And for PvP, it could actually work out pretty good. Rather have when I come into PvP, I'd rather have DPS. The opposite. But damage, you can see, is an acceptable amount. It's not overly powerful, but it's definitely there. You gotta be careful of your stamina, though, because you can go through your stamina really quick, as you're seeing. That's becoming a problem already in this battle, as I'm burning through my stamina. So you gotta be careful with your moves and where you use them. Alright. Let's try against the medium-sized opponent, his Executioner. Oof. Okay, some bad dodging, but the damage is just... Oof. He's not staggering, so... I gotta rely on my footwork, which is failing me at the moment. Okay, so, we can see against an opponent that does not stagger at all. No surprise, it is a small weapon. But, gotta be really careful. So, if you're gonna use this weapon against bigger opponents, be good on your footwork. Not like me. I need a blood vial. Now let's take it against an opponent with lots of armor. So, you can see something interesting there. The first slash did only 90 some damage, and then the second attack did a lot more. See again? Boom. A lot more. So, if you just do straight jabbing, a lot of damage there, very quickly. So, enemies with armor are in very big trouble with this. They're in peril with you wielding this weapon against them. So you can just completely just jab them repeatedly there. But the slashing, not that great. My dagger missed. But oh well. And, missed again. Okay. The power attack there, or the repeated power attack, is problems in point blank quarters like that, maybe. But oh well. You can see just going ham on slashing attacks does nothing to them. But anyway, let's move on to the bigger version that's more of a threat. Same story. This opponent is bigger, has actual weapons, but it still relies heavily on her armor. I think it's a she anyway. But anyway, you can see that you gotta be careful. Again, well, she doesn't stagger too much, or it. Yeah, slashing attacks, pointless. No good at all. So you don't go straight jabbing. So at least it has that. You can just rely straight on jabbing if you want. Slashing has no real dedicated buttons, but it's there. Now against the Shadow of Yharnam, I was a bit more worried because they're very nimble. So I thought this weapon, it wouldn't be the best, but you can see it actually staggers them, which is good. So when you get a light stagger, you can actually follow up repeatedly with your attacks. It's not, it's like they don't stand much of a chance. Like you see here, you just keep getting slashed. They just get wrecked quickly. So even in single form, it's still actually quite effective. So I'm surprised by that. But then again, the poise of a Shadow of Yharnam can't be that big. And then in terms of being nimble, I guess that my weapon is just as nimble as theirs, if not more. So it actually works pretty good against them, as such nimble opponents. So alright. Other than that, I think that kind of answers all the questions of Rakuyo. We've got the very much basic idea about this, the DPS and everything else. Let's move on to the score. Okay, going on to the score for the Rakuyo. For pros and cons, well, it is pretty much a good jabbing weapon. It also has good DPS. And it has a fairly competent arcane build. You know, it could be good, but the arcane scaling didn't really improve. But that could change through gems. I believe so anyway. On the cons, a lot of the attacks are a bit wasted in terms of slashing when you want to do jabbing. So there's the basic attack is what I'm implying. Alright, and the damage, it's okay. It's meh damage in my opinion. Even with DPS, it could do a little bit better. But anyway, going on to the score for the Rakuyo. Damage, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was fairly competent damage. Good enough for a single weapon. Reach, a 7 out of 10. You got some good jabbing in there. Animation, a 7 out of 10. You got a large variety of moves, which is pretty useful. Bonus though, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was okay bonus. Could have been better, could have been worse. Miscellaneous, I'm going to give a 5 out of 10. Why? For all the DLC weapons, I call the Rakuyo the most boring one. It's kind of a weapon. Nothing special else to it. It definitely gets the job done, but you have to kind of be really good at your footwork. But again, that's all very opinionated, yes, but it's my opinion nonetheless. So in total, I give the Rakuyo 31 out of 50. It's still a great weapon. Just a very basic weapon in a very creative DLC. But no matter, let's move on to the other version of this weapon, the trick weapon portion of it. Now going on to the separated Rakuyo, because I had no fancy name for it this time. So, pretty basic, separated Rakuyo. Okay, on the pros, it has better DPS than its single counterpart. It has dedicated jabbing that's rapid as well. Alright. On the cons though, it does remove your second hand weapon, your offhand, could be your pistol, it could be another weapon. Yeah, and there's no real replacement for parrying either. So okay, and damage could be better again. And low damage a bit on that DPS. Gonna lean on it a bit. Anyway, for the score for separated Rakuyo, damage I'm gonna give a 7 out of 10. It is slightly better than the single version because it's better DPS. Slightly better. Reach though, you lose a bit of reach. I'm gonna give a 5 out of 10 because you lose that power jab. Now it had a good reach to it. Animation, I give it 8 out of 10. You got a lot of moves you can rely on here. There's a lot. So the animation gets big points for the separated version. Bonus is the same though, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. There's no change from single to separated to my knowledge. Miscellaneous, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, because it's a more interesting version fighting style like this. But still, I'd rather use a much more heavier weapon. There's other weapons out there that have DPS, and this one is kind of lacks the oomph that I kind of come to expect from other weapons. But still, in the end, the separated Rakuyo gets 32 out of 50. It's also a great weapon. Which one I'd rather prefer? I'm not too sure. I kind of hold them both in the same regard. So this is going to be a thing now at the end of my videos. I'm going to show you what I could do with it with a few blood gems. Do I have the best blood gems? Oh no, I do not. Do I have some that are decent? Pretty good. Yeah, pretty decent. Anyway, I'll show you what I could do with mine, at least, and what the result is, in a short montage anyway. So here it is. You can see I turned the basic scaling into something much better. Almost, just almost double the physical attack. So that's some serious scaling now. But how does it look like in combat now? Well, let's just take a short video here. Gems, they're quite lacking. Some other weapons do good without blood gems. They're only augmented by it, but I kind of feel like this one needs them in order to be any good. Still though, I like to review them with the blood gems again because they skew the results, in my opinion. But anyway, in terms of what I think, I'll say it again, I think these are probably the most boring weapons from the DLC. But no matter. That's simply my opinion how it is. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Hope to see you guys next time. Take care out there.